Hi, and welcome to Knitting on the Float. My name is Tracy, and I'm your host. I am back in Vancouver. The sun is shining. It is a glorious day. I have some fun things to share with you, not only on the couch, but I have some videos that I took over the past couple of weeks since I visited with you last. And I also have a contest that I'm going to be chatting about today, and hopefully we will have a winner in the next couple of days because it's going to be a very quick turnaround contest, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. Before I get to all that information though, let me tell you where you can find me. I am Tracy RR on Ravelry, and I am at Knitting on the Float on Instagram. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. This is a podcast where I usually chatter on about the knitting that I've gotten up to. Sometimes other crafts slip in there as well, but mainly it is about knitting. So welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I know you are ready to sit down and craft away while I chatter on about what I've been up to for the past couple of weeks, because it's been 2 weeks since we sat down last. And I know you have your cup of whatever, whether it is cold, hot, ouch, or you've just spilled it on yourself like I did. That was not a very smart thing to do. You've got, as I said, that project, your drink of choice, and you are ready to just settle down for a little bit, take some time for yourself while I chatter away about what I have gotten up to. This week, I do have some brown paper packages, and I'm going to start off with the first thing that I purchased. Actually, it was the last thing that I purchased while leaving Toronto. At the airport, I picked up a new mug from Starbucks, and it is the Places mug. And of course, as a Toronto girl, I needed to have a Toronto mug. So on here we have Old City Hall, and they've got the arches for where you skate at New City Hall. So Old City Hall is across the street from New City Hall in Toronto. That's what they're called, old and new. And there's a big skating rink. There's a really big Toronto sign. So if you're ever right downtown Toronto near the Eaton Centre, you will likely see Old City Hall, which is a beautiful building. The CN Tower, I still call it the Sky Dome, but it's now called the Rogers Centre, is there. And a lot of the other buildings in the Toronto area are there in the skyline. There is a streetcar, Lake Ontario. Toronto sits on Lake Ontario. The Bluffs, an interesting fact about the Toronto Bluffs at Bluffers Park in Toronto, there is about 22 float homes that people live on in that area. St. Lawrence Market is a very famous food market, food hall, not so much a food hall, but I think a market where you can buy all sorts of food, and street signs for Yonge and Dundas Street. The lake, Toronto Islands are on here, and then Isaac was quick to point out that there were hockey sticks for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and of course there is a baseball bat and a glove for the Toronto Blue Jays. So my new mug, which needs some tea in it right now, so I wanted to be able to share the mug and turn it around and all that stuff without spilling tea. So I made some, and I decided to go with Starbucks Teavana Earl Grey tea. And because you can never go wrong with Earl Grey tea. So we will pour, it's a little weak right now actually, my tea into my brand new freshly washed Starbucks mug. I poured my tea into my new Toronto mug, but it was a little bit weak. So I got up, gave it a little bit of a stir, and now my cup of Earl Grey tea is ready to properly drink. But before we do that, let us have a little cheer, and let us cheer to a lovely visit today. So cheers to that. When we last visited, I was a little bit worried about how much knitting I would be able to fit into my very, very small backpack. In the end, I was able to fit 3 projects, which made me very, very happy. On the return home, I was very lucky. I traveled with somebody else, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we continue on through the podcast. But because they had a little bit of space in their backpack, I was not only able to bring back a brand new mug, I was able to bring back some brown paper packages as well. Part of why I was able to do that was because one of the projects that I worked on, I left behind in Toronto. And when I was visiting with you last, I was discussing hoping to bring some Katona yarn with me. And in the end, I was able to fit these 2.5 skeins plus 2 skeins of white Katona into my backpack, along with the needles and the pattern for the Wondrous dishcloth. And while I was away, I knit 2 supersize Wondrous dishcloths. And as you can tell, I did not knit myself any because I always mean to do it, but I never get to it. So I came back with, out of 4.5 skeins of Katona, I came back with 2.5. So I did fairly well. And instead of putting that footage into bits and bobs, it kind of makes sense to put it into my favorite things. So I will share with you the beautiful Wondrous dishcloths that I made while I was away. And as I said, I supersized them a little bit. They were for my mom, and she was very, very happy when I gave them to her. So I will put that footage in right here. Hello, it is Friday, April 21st, and just having a quiet day today. Hair today, gone yesterday. Got my hair all chopped off in the distillery, so it feels definitely lighter. I have cast something new on, and I am using this Katona, and I am making hopefully 2 Wondrous dishcloths for my mom. Now, the reason she likes white is because then she can bleach it. I like the bright colors. But this is my Wondrous dishcloth, and what I have done is I have actually added stitches. So this is going to be a much wider Wondrous dishcloth. Look at that beautiful texture. So texture this side and stockinette on this side here. And yeah, so I cast this on yesterday when I was in the car and had a little bit of downtime, worked on a little bit last night. So my goal is to definitely finish this one, and my plan is where I would have normally had 2 dishcloths made out of 1 ball of Katona, I am going to make 1 very large dishcloth, no tripod this time, and use the entire ball of yarn to make this. And then I'll do the same for the other ball of white Katona. Anyway, that is a little catch up. I've got laundry in the machine right now. That's the great thing about traveling light, is you don't bring many clothes, but you know, and when there's a laundry machine on the other side, you don't have to worry too much. So it's been a good week so far. Anyway, that is the crafting I have gotten up to. Cast on I did yesterday, and there is more crafting. The Sock Society sock has come along a little bit more. I'm now on sock 2, and my Second Avenue wrap is coming along nicely. I'm into that second last section, the rugby stripes, and I'm very excited to share that with you in a little while. Today is Monday, April 24th, and I have been reunited with my friend. You might be able to tell the picture quality is a little bit better. This morning we got up super early and we drove to Pearson Airport to pick up Nathaniel. And Nathaniel has a PA day at school today, and he is flown in for Uke Day, which is Ukulele Day in Toronto. So tomorrow he will be borrowing the uke that is just over here that I picked up on Thursday, and he will be playing at Uke Day. And thankfully, he brought me my camera, so we'll have hopefully a little bit better picture quality and sound quality. I wanted to share what I have worked on the past few days. I have finished not one larger size Wondrous dishcloth, but 2 larger size Wondrous dishcloths. So I cast on 46 stitches instead of what is called for in the pattern and made these a little bit larger. They are in white so that my mother can bleach them, and now that I have shared them with you, aren't they beautiful? They really are. I can now gift them to her. I wanted to share those with you though before I did gift those. The other thing I've been working on is my 2nd Avenue wrap. It is coming along really nicely. Oh, these colors are so beautiful. The light in here does not do them justice, but I'm really happy that I went with the same coloring as the sample at the Knitting Loft. And oh, dreamy. Ochre, burlap, and I am now in the rugby stripes, so burlap and golden delicious, which looks just very yellow here, but we'll get it outside and get some better light a little bit later. Anyway, that's what I've been working on a lot, as well as the project that is living in here, Nancy Drew. Nancy got some love this morning. I am through Sock 2's heel and gusset, so I'm now just in the home stretch of the foot, and then I'll have the toe to do. I could probably finish it either today or even tomorrow. We're flying home tomorrow, so I could have them done by the time I get home, or I could spend a lot of time with my 2nd Avenue wrap. One more option, I do have some more Katona yarn, so I could make some more Wondrous dishcloths. I've got a pink, a nice soft blue, and a bright green, I believe. So I have options between now and when we head home tomorrow, but I'm wanting to work on my 2nd Avenue wrap now. So that is what I'm going to do. My mom absolutely loved the 2 Wondrous dishcloths that I made her, and for each of those Wondrous dishcloths, I ended up just using 150-gram ball of the Katona, and there was a tiny little bit left over from each, but for the most part, the entire ball was used for that supersized dishcloth. But I did come home with 2.5 skeins, and at some point, I will knit myself some Wondrous dishcloths. Whether they will be as per the written pattern or whether I will supersize them, I have no idea. But I absolutely love these colors, and one day I will knit them up for myself. So that was one of the projects I worked on while I was away. Another project that I worked on while I was away is living in my gorgeous Firefly bag by Bags by Awesome Granny. And while I was in Ontario, I was thinking I was only about a month off of Firefly season, maybe a month and a half. Unfortunately, we don't have Firefly season here, so my gorgeous bag will have to do me. And inside, my lovely fireflies in a jar and flying out in the wild bag is my 2nd Avenue wrap, and that's a pattern by Amy Miller. It is a lovely pattern, and I bought this kit from the Knitting Loft, and this weekend the Knitting Loft is having an online sale, so if you are interested in getting some beautiful yarns, you may want to check them out and see what they've got. This kit was absolutely gorgeous. I saw the sample all knit up last May, and because it's pink and green, I had to pick it up. So the yarns are from Plucky Knitter, and let's see, I will go through and just share the colors. This one here is Peony, And the kit is called the Bouquet of Peonies kit, I believe. And this one is pink and green at its most glorious. This color here is Golden Delicious. And it is absolutely lovely as well. Ogre is such a fun color. It's turning out a little bit more yellowy on the screen as I'm looking at it, but it's very ogreish, but it is a lovely and fun color to use. This very soft green is Burlap, and it has knit up beautifully in this design. And my favorite of the bunch is this gorgeous pink called Dreamy. And yes, it absolutely is. So all 5 of these together make up the Second Avenue kit, wrap kit. And I have made some really good progress. I am now 3 rugby stripes and then a little section of stockinette and a picot bind off away from being done my Second Avenue wrap. So it starts off with this lovely cast on edge that's got these scallops, which once they are blocked will come out beautifully. And then it goes into a section of peony, which is just straight stockinette. And then it's a little bit of a single striping section. Get these. I've got a lot of loose ends to wind in. This is a single striping section of peony and burlap. So I believe there's a knitting row and then a purling row, and then you switch to the next color. And then we are back into peony stockinette. And then there is a gorgeous eyelet section of the Dreamy. Ogre comes in here in a stockinette with a garter ridge. We are back to an eyelet section, which is done in the burlap. And now I am in the rugby stripe section, which is done with Ogre and Golden Delicious. So as I said, I am now, let's put that up this way, 3 rugby stripes away from moving on to the final section. So I've got 2 more Ogre and 1 more of the Golden Delicious stripes to go. And I've just finished a Golden Delicious stripe. And then I will be knitting again in peony. I kind of wish it was Dreamy. It is my wrap. I could do it in Dreamy, but I actually love the sample that is on display at the Knitting Loft. So I'm going to stick with keeping it the same. And I will then do a few rows of stockinette, followed by a picot bind off, and my Second Avenue wrap will be complete. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Now this is a really nice yarn. It is, and let me just grab, I've put the ball bands inside of the yarns, and I'll just tell you, it's Primo Fingering is the name of this yarn. I was thinking it would have numbers for me, but it is superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon. Doesn't say on the ball band what the percentages are, but I believe it is in Ravelry. So I will try and put in the percentages as well. So Primo, and oh, so nice. So I'll pop in, as I said, this is Plucky Knitter. This one is Peony. And this was, as I mentioned, the Bouquet of Peonies kit that was exclusive to the Knitting Loft. So beautiful yarns, which I'm having a hard time picking up. Right there. Have almost finished creating this beautiful wrap by Amy Miller. And I will pop them all back into my Firefly bag, and I am hoping that I will have this finished very, very soon. Let's pop off the glasses now. So that is something that got quite a bit of work because I had been in the dreamy section of the eyelets just when we were chatting last. I think I finished them off, and the day that I left, Friday the 14th, I completed the little ogre section with the stockinette and the garter ridges. So then I was ready to just start the burlap eyelet section. So there, hopefully very soon, that project will be off the needles. I can block it, share it with you, and we are going into May very soon, so I'm not sure when I will wear that wrap. Probably in the fall because we are starting to get warmer weather. That's okay though, I can deal with it. I am super, super excited to share with you this final project that came with me to Toronto and has returned. It is now a finished object. I finished these yesterday, soaked them, and they are now on the sock blockers. They had been living in my gorgeous Nancy Drew bag. This is by Birdleg Bags. It's got this wonderful glass pull. I love using my Nancy Drew bag. But as I mentioned, this project is now done, so we can peek inside. Now this is my test knit for pattern 1 of the 5th season of the Handmade Sock Society. And I will be able to share these with you in their full glory next Thursday, May 4th, Star Wars Day. But until then, an empty-ish sort of bag. I'm going to share my yarns with you, and I have a little bit of exciting news to share with you about this project as well. But first, let's share the yarns that I used for my test knit for pattern 1. And I used this gorgeous Cauldron of Colors yarn. And this is a superwash merino nylon. And this is Aunt Jane's Festive Knitting. It really reminds me of Cadbury mini eggs. It's got lovely little speckles and shots of soft purple, pink, bit of beige in there. So definitely very soft and spring-like. And as I mentioned, these are from Cauldron of Colors, and Sarah is the dyer of Cauldron of Colors, and this is her Merry Angel base. So pretty. The Handmade Sock Society is going to be released next week, so it is a series of 6 mystery sock patterns, and Helen, who is Curious Handmade, has the pre-sale up right now. So for anyone who is wanting to join in the excitement of the Handmade Sock Society, which it definitely, I love when Helen has her societies out, whether it's the Shawl Society or the Sock Society. It's a lot of fun, and I've been very, very lucky to be able to test knit the patterns, and Helen's patterns are always so wonderful. I am super, super excited to let you know that Helen has kindly gifted me a copy of the Handmade Sock Society Season 5 to use as a prize on the Knitting on the Float podcast. So if you would like to win a copy of this year's society, I'm just going to ask you to put a comment on this YouTube video, and I will be drawing on May 2nd. Because I want you to definitely know you've got your copy before the release date, which is May 4th. So if you would like to win a copy of this year's Society collection, pop a comment below. And if you can do so before the end of day Pacific time, May 1st, so May 1 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, that's where I'll do the cutoffs. And just a comment. I will put all of the names of people commenting in, and then I will draw on a vlog on May 2nd. So an opportunity to win this year's society. So good luck to everybody. And I am so excited to have pattern 1 done, and I'm looking forward to getting pattern 2 because then I get to choose some more yarn and knit another gorgeous pair of socks. So good luck to everybody, and I hope that if you win, you absolutely love the collection, and even if you don't, if you knit along, that you love the collection as well. Anyway, that is what I got up to knitting wise while I was away, and I think 3 projects is pretty darn good. There is a gorgeous little fabric shop in the historic town of Bowmanville, which is about an hour east of Toronto. And when I go to visit my mother, I sometimes get myself in trouble there. And this visit was no different. Thankfully, on my return home, I was coming back with somebody, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in Bits and Bobs. But I knew they had a little bit of room in their backpack, so I purchased a few things. Now, the first 4 things I'm going to share with you were actually purchased for me by my mom. And I just saw this fabric and I absolutely loved it. So I ended up getting 2 of them. These are 1/3 of a meter. Now, this gorgeous store, Sewing Essentials in Bowmanville, they have bins that have 1/3 of a meters, folded lovely, sorted out in rainbow colors. And every time you go in, it's different. I mean, sometimes the fabrics are the same, but there's always something different in there. And there's always something that jumps out at me. So these stood out to me. And I decided I wanted to make a project bag for myself. And I liked this combination for myself. But then my mom said, oh, you can make me a bag too. So I will be using this combination for her. So she bought that for me. And all was good until I made the mistake of going back again. And why I went back was because I saw a really nice fabric and I was going to pick it up as a gift for somebody. But when I got back there, unfortunately, it was gone. It was a beautiful rolled up fabric, and it was gone. But something else caught my attention while I was there, and that was this fabric. And this fabric hadn't been in the bin a few days before. And I have paired this fabric with this fun plaid. And I thought it would be really nice. Last year when KnitVent was released, the anthology throw that I had knit up as my test knit, I ended up donating to Karina of Louie and Lola Yarns to use for her breast cancer raffle and or fundraiser. And I am going to be donating something again this year, and I thought it would be really nice to maybe make a project bag out of these fabrics to send with that donation. So I picked these up. But you don't just stop at 2, especially when they're really reasonably priced, and they are so pretty. I really loved this fabric so much. I did pick it up again, but I matched it with this woodsy pattern as well. So, oops, I've got this upside down. I love how the green really pops the grass and all the little green bits that are in this fabric. So another project bag. And then I saw this combination and I thought of Isaac immediately, and it was 101 Dalmatians, and it's got little stars in there, and I knew Isaac would love this. And he also loves music. So for the inside, I think I'm going to make another project bag. I'm going to try my hand at some project bags. And I liked this combination. So I guess for Isaac, not a project bag, just a bag to maybe put things in. I don't know what for. Anyway, I just liked it. And it involves two of Isaac's favorite things, Disney and music. So, of course, I had to pick up this combo. And I was loving this one. This is actually a glow-in-the-dark fabric. I just thought it was so, so pretty. And it coordinated very nicely with this one here. So I picked that up. And then I really liked this pink and the pink gingham check as well. So I kind of got myself in a little bit of trouble, but I was able to fit them in the extra backpack and bring them home with me, and they are lovely. Now, while I was in the sewing shop, I thought to myself, I will probably need some thread, so I picked up this gorgeous periwinkle, lavender, purple, this gorgeous thread, and it really coordinates nicely with this fabric. And because I did get 3 of this fabric, I thought it would be good to make sure I had some matching thread to go along with it. So I've got that. And because I'm also hoping to make some bags, I know I'm going to need to poke out some corners, I picked up a tailor's awl as well. This can put holes in fabric, so I'll have to be very careful not to do that, but it will be good to poke out those corners. When I was doing the bunnies a few weeks back, I had a little bit of difficulty getting the corners poked out, so I picked that up. So that was my lovely set of purchases from Sewing Essentials in Bowmanville. It's a danger store. It is so dangerous, but I absolutely love going in there. And as you can tell, I was in a bit of a woodsy, but also a very pink mood as well. Anyway, that was my lovely brown paper package purchases and gifts, because my mom gave me some as well. But happy to share that with you today. It's now time for Bits and Bobs, and this is my segment where I talk about anything and everything not necessarily knitting related. And I have to say, I had a lovely time in Toronto. It was really fun surprising my dad for his 80th birthday. I took the red eye from Vancouver to Toronto on the 14th, arriving early morning on the 15th. I did not sleep on the plane one wink, which was a bit challenging, but when I arrived in Toronto, I then took the Up Express, which is the Union Pearson Express, UP, Union Pearson, and went down, had a little bit of coffee before walking to my sister's place, which is very close to the Sky Dome, and I did get a bit of footage from there, so I will pop that in a little later. And then we drove up to see Grease in Port Perry, which is a lovely little town in Ontario. And I surprised my dad at the theater. So everyone was going to see Grease from my family, and I just happened to show up as well. And I was able to purchase a seat right by them. So my dad was a little bit surprised to see me show up in the theater. And we had a lovely time celebrating his 80th birthday. And it was really, really nice to be back home. I did get my hair cut while I was there, and I did a little bit of Magnolia Watch. Last year, when I was in Ontario at this time, so late April into early to mid-ish May, I took some video of the magnolia pretty much every day, and we watched it bloom. So I do have a little bit of magnolia watch, and I have a little bit of footage also about the projects. But one of the big things that happened while I was there was near the end of my trip, Nathaniel flew from Vancouver to Toronto, and he flew all on his own because he's getting to be a really big independent guy. And we picked him up at the airport Monday morning. So he took the red eye as well. And on Tuesday, it was Uke Day, which is a wonderful ukulele celebration day that is held by Melanie Doan, or hosted by Melanie Doan at one of the local schools. And hundreds of kids who are part of U School, and Nathaniel is part of U School, come to a local school and they all play ukulele together. There's often guest artists, and this year James Hill, who is a ukulele player extraordinaire, was there, and Molly Johnson was there as well. And Molly Johnson is a Canadian jazz singer. And back in January, Nathaniel and I flew to Toronto to allow him to record a wonderful song with U School and Molly Johnson, and that was also released on Tuesday. So I am going to link that at the end of this week's podcast, and it is absolutely a wonderful, wonderful song. So I will link that for you to listen to. And there's, in this YouTube video, you can see Nathaniel a few times because he is playing and singing with the song Ooh Child with Molly Johnson and the rest of the U School team. So such a wonderful experience in January, and it was really nice to bring it all together a couple of days ago in Toronto with Nathaniel flying in for Uke Day and being there for the release of the song. So a lot of fun. On our way to the airport, we got to hear the song on the radio, and that was definitely fun. And I have a little bit of a video with that as well. Trying to think, there's so much that has happened in the past couple of weeks, and as I mentioned, I've got some of it on video, and I will pop all of that right here. Here we are in the harborfront area of Toronto, and this is the Rogers Centre, formerly known as the Sky Dome. Right now the dome has opened because there is a Blue Jay game today, and right beside is Ripley's Aquarium. That's the white, and then if you look up, way up, here is the CN Tower. Now let's take a quick peek from here. Lots of apartments. Hopefully we don't see ugly naked guy. Plant blocking our view. And here is the Toronto Island on Lake Ontario. And in front of us is Billy Bishop Airport, which has little planes that go places like New York City and Boston, Ottawa. I came into Pearson, and this is the Toronto Island. And right here we are in harborfront area of Toronto. So right now I'm feeling like we are in the center of it all. I forgot to point out two things. One here, this is the highway, this is the Gardiner Expressway. I always found it usually moved fairly well, except rush hour. But if there was an accident, it was a parking lot. And right behind it is the Roundhouse. And this is a historical roundhouse. They've now made it into a train museum. And there is a brewery here, the Steam Whistle Brewery. And I don't know whether the Leon's Furniture Store is still here or not, but there had been a furniture store in here when they converted it. But there is definitely the rail museum happening now. You can see some trains in the background. And And over to the side, there's a little park there that also has cabooses and other historical train things, and then a little bit of the Toronto skyline. Last April, early May, I came to Ontario to get Isaac's things from college and move him back to British Columbia, or move him to British Columbia for the first time. And I stayed at my parents', and every day when we did our May vlogs last year, I would do Magnolia Watch. And I just thought I would share with you the magnolia tree this April. The buds are just about to bloom, or the flowers are just about to bloom, and I thought I would share this beautiful, beautiful magnolia tree that's in their backyard. You can see the little bits of pink, and I'm hoping over the next few days while I'm here, we'll start to see some of those beautiful flowers and petals show us their beauty. Although it is supposed to get cold in the next few days, so who knows whether we will see full blossom or not. But Magnolia Watch 2023 is a thing. Nancy is here at my parents' place, but she's feeling a little bit ignored right now because, as I reach forward, I've been working on the project in my Firefly bag, and that is my Second Avenue wrap. So the last time when we visited, I was in, and I've rolled it up so that when I'm flipping it back and forth, I've tied it up with some yarn. When I'm flipping it back and forth, it becomes a little bit easier. But the last time we visited, I was in this pink eyelet section. I got through the Ogre Garter Ridge stripe, it's not stripes, Garter Ridge section, Garter Ridge with mainly stockinette, and I am now into the eyelet section in the burlap. So it's coming along slowly but surely, and yes, it's a little ball right now. This one, I'm about to start the rugby stripe section as soon as I get through this second eyelet section, which I'm hoping to do today. I'm going to have 6 repeats of this eyelet repeat, and then go into the rugby stripes, and then it is, I think, 9 rugby stripes, and then it ends off with a picot edging. So I am more than 50% done, although it doesn't look it because I've got it all balled up, and I'm very much enjoying my Second Avenue wrap, although it does mean Nancy has been ignored a tiny bit. You know, she's gotten some attention. She's gotten quite a bit of attention, actually. I'm almost finished sock 1 of the Sock Society. I'm just in the foot, and then I have a toe to do, and then cast on sock 2. It'll all be good. It is Magnolia Watch time, Friday, April 21st. Last week, the weather here was beyond gorgeous. I wasn't here at that point, but it was 30 degrees out. It then got super, super cold, so I was wishing I had brought my winter jacket with me earlier in the week, but today, it's t-shirt weather. It is beautiful. The magnolias behind me, for the most part, are still just closed up blossoms, but oh my goodness, when they do finally open up, they are going to be absolutely gorgeous. Maybe, cross fingers, maybe by Saturday's tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, they will be blossoming, and I'll be able to see a little bit more than just the little closed up flowers. Anyway, that is Magnolia Watch for Friday, April 21st, 2023. It was so cold earlier in the week that the hydrangeas were brought inside and put on the kitchen table, but there are 3 beautiful hydrangeas. This gorgeous blue one, this lovely pink one here, and right down here, look at this. Oh, breathtaking purple hydrangea. So beautiful. Soon they'll go back outside and be so happy. It is Monday and we are doing Magnolia Watch from inside because that rain is really coming down. Unfortunately, this year I think we're just going to get not quite fully bloomed, but the promise of beautiful blooms of the magnolia tree. Because tomorrow we head home. Tomorrow we're off early in the morning, so it's chilly, damp, but you know what? April showers bring these beautiful May flowers. And we're just gonna have to zoom in from inside because it's wet and cold. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to go outside. It is Tuesday, April 25th. We are doing our last Magnolia Watch before we head back to Vancouver. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't quite warm enough to bring these babies out fully. Every day I've woken up anticipating that maybe we will get to see these open up, but not quite. But you can take in the beauty for now. Maybe next year we'll check in again. We'll see where things stand. Anyway, that is Magnolia Watch. Today we have a very busy day ahead of us. We are going down to Uke Day, and it will be a public school gym full of students playing ukuleles. Should be a fun day.
So a lot of really good players are here, and I'm so glad that you all will get to see them. But mainly, congratulations, playing position. Let's do a quick warm-up, 8 on each, pentatonic scale. My turn first. Get ready for 8 on each. A 1, 2, 8 times ready, play. One more time, warm up, 4 on each. Pentatonic. Raised in the noodle shop, never seeking glory or fame. He climbed the mountaintop and earned the dragon warrior name. Ooh, ah, yeah, Kung Fu Panda. Get ready if you know Master Shifu, do it now. Master Shifu saw the warrior blossom and master the skills of bodacious and back to me. Kung Fu Panda. Oh, I see beautiful second fingering. Nice drums. He lives and he trains and he fights with a furious fire. Protects the valley, something, 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 something alive. Ooh, ha, yeah, Kung Fu Panda. Let's hold it there. And then we're gonna sing Legends of Awesomeness. Everyone together. Sweet! Amazing play position. We're going to go right away into this one. See if you know what to do when I do this. Do-dos or whistle, your choice. Oh, lots of whistles. Everyone else does do-dos with me. Everybody pentatonic, one on each, go. I'll help you out. Let's try together. Almost Heaven is the first lyric. Here we go and sing. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than the mountains. Here we go. Like country roads, country deep. Really sing it. Take me you know what song I'm doing. Yes! Really let me have it. Let me hear you. Yes! G chord now. I love to hear you singing. Beautiful job. Locked me Get ready with your A chord now. Back to A. Okay, let's just get set. Anyone new friends? Molly, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, so much fun.
Thank you for doing the recording with us. It was just such an amazing day. Maybe I should just start the song a little bit. What do you think? Remember how it went like that a little bit?
I don't remember it.
Big pain in your ear.
That day.
Yeah, you were really sick and then you
I
came.
was, but I just powered through.
Maybe just to let them know how it goes.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, everyone. Wait. What is it, Molly?
Well, didn't we just release this on Spotify and like all those super cool social things?
Apple Music and like YouTube, you mean, and
Yeah, all that
Instagram
stuff,
and all the
Instagram.
things? You're right.
What about Snapchat?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if
I
anyone's
just like
doing
saying
that.
Snapchat. I don't know anything about
Okay,
Snapchat.
we'll write a song about it. But do you know what? You're so right because I don't know. Should we just tell them to go listen to this later and look at the video because
That's
it's
what
so
I think.
amazing?
It's so amazing.
I think maybe that we should do that. But what about this idea? Because we're all here. This is a whole lot of new friends for you, and we've got everyone in the room. Like it's kind of a lot for us to get here. What if we do a song that we can all play together? Would you stick around for that?
I would.
Okay. I think we should play position, everyone. I think we should do something we know really well, and I think Molly knows it. And it's called Lean on Me. Get your ukes ready. Yeah, now we have one more chance for this picking solo. I really want you to impress Molly with this. Get ready. If you had a problem the last time, another chance right now. Get ready, and here we go. Aren't they good, Molly?
Yeah, they're really good. You're really good.
Here's our big ending, nice and slow. One, two, you know it, sing with me. Music is love, love is music, if you know what I mean. People who believe in music are the happiest people I've ever seen. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, shake your tambourine. Lift on the left, on this side. In the middle, I think.
Someday, yeah, we'll put it together. Day when your head's much lighter. Someday, yeah, we'll walk in the rays of the beautiful sun. Someday, your head's much brighter.
We are just at the local mall, and there is the Office Experience, the American Office. And I guess they will have office-focused paraphernalia when it opens. That's what she said. Last time Nathaniel and I were at Pearson, there was snow on the ground, and tonight we are seeing this gorgeous sunset as we wait for our plane, which is in a couple hours still. We're here very early, but look at that beautiful sunset and no snow on the ground. I do have to say though, it was chilly this visit. Just not minus 30. Nathaniel, what was your favorite part of today?
Probably... No, not cheese. Listening to the song on the radio.
That was pretty cool. And you had a really good day?
Yeah.
And your day was?
Fantastic.
I didn't see that. What did you do with your thumb?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Yes, it was a lot of fun. It's amazing how quickly the sun goes down. And tomorrow morning I will wake up in Vancouver. Now that we are back in the float home and about to start May, I will be keeping an eye out for little goslings. Greg did let me know that he saw a little set of 5 goslings earlier this week, but I haven't seen them yet. I'm sure we'll start seeing them popping up around the float house soon, and I'll be very, very happy to share that with you. I had mentioned in the last podcast that I had been thinking about doing a May vlog series, and I will be doing that. This loft that has all of my crafting supplies is not how I want it. So I'm going to spend May straightening up the loft. I'm just going to try and do it very slowly, a little bit each day, and share the transformation with you day by day throughout May. So I'm going to start on May 1st. And as I mentioned, on May 2nd, I am going to draw for the winner of the Handmade Sock Society pattern collection. So I'll do that as part of the vlog series. And on May 4th, that is the release of the first pattern. So we'll have that as part of the vlog. So May 1st, I will be starting that series. And I think because it gets to be a little much to do a daily vlog, keep up with knitting, I'll be knitting pattern 2 during that time as well, that I won't be podcasting through May, but I will definitely be doing a vlog each day. So some exciting things to happen. Anyway, I think that is all I'm going to share on Bits and Bobs right now. We're going to get up to a lot of Bits and Bobs over the month of May because things will pop up, and I've got lots of crafting things to look forward to, putting things away, maybe doing a little bit of crafting as well with you. So May will be a very, very exciting time. Anyway, that is all I have for Bits and Bobs this week, and I will definitely pick up on May 1st, where we will start sharing daily. Thank you so much for joining me on Knitting on the Float this week. I hope that you've had a chance to sit down and relax while I have chattered away about the projects I've worked on the past couple of weeks, the lovely brown paper packages that I have. And if you would like to win a copy of the Handmade Sock Society Season 5, don't forget to put a comment below. I will be drawing on May 2nd, so make sure your comment's there by 11:59 Pacific Daylight Time on May 1st, and then I will draw in our vlogs where I'm going to hopefully get that loft and my crafting area all straightened out. So I hope you'll join me for that as well. If you have a little bit of extra time today, I would absolutely love it for you to watch the video that I'm going to put at the end, which is Ooh Child, a wonderful song by Melanie Doan, Youth School, and Molly Johnson. So I'll put that as a link at the end of the epilogue, and I hope that you love it as much as I do. I am wishing you a wonderful few days until I see you on May 1st when we will visit and hopefully get that loft space all straightened up and get some things put away. It's going to be a fun time. Wishing you all the best, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye. I keep forgetting to mention that it has now been 6 years since I started podcasting. I started podcasting April 3rd, 2017, and we are now at the end of April 2023, so hard to believe it's been 6 years. Today I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to ask you to like and share. But I'm not going to ask you to like and share my video. I'm going to ask you to like and share the video that I'm going to be putting in one of these spots here. And that is Ooh Child by Melanie Doan, Youth School, and Molly Johnson. And if you watch the video, you'll see Nathaniel. So I would absolutely love it if you would like that video and definitely bring joy to someone else, share it. And if you really, really love the song, it is available on Apple Music and Spotify. I, of course, had to download it. And it's just such a wonderful and joyful song. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll watch it. And I will see you on May 1st.